It's been my experience since a child that to be good at anything requires some effort. And so I know when I admire a filmmaker or a book, a writer or a musician, I can sense the years of experience. Sometimes people who are very young can create something interesting because have a lot of spirit, but generally they also have genuine skill. And you can feel it in the product. You can feel the years that they spent working on something, or you look at any kind of athlete. So I know the value of discipline, of hour upon hour upon hour that you put into something and what happens to the brain. Okay. And this is what makes a human being a human being. It's what makes us such a powerful species, that we can develop skills in anything. And even people who have neurological disorders, people with autism, etc., they can develop these skills. Anybody can. It's because it's built into the human brain. And so when I wrote Mastery, I was a little bit concerned that people are losing a sense of this. Now, I know I'm giving the impression in this interview that I'm this crabby old guy who's just whining and whining and whining about all the bad things to other people. And I hope I don't give that impression, because number one, there are some young people out there who far surpass what older people can do, and they're more open, and youth is a wonderful thing, and I'm more on your side than you believe. But on the other hand, you're facing things, if you are young, that are much more difficult than I had to face. It's like you enter life, I enter life, and I'm swimming with the tide, and all these great things are happening for me. You enter life, and you're swimming against a tide, and you have to work against all of these bad influences. So when you have that phone in your hand, that with one press of a thumb, all these incredible things happen. Any question you want, Siri can answer, Google can answer, ChatGPT can answer, whatever, etc. You develop this mindset that everything in life should be easy and simple and quick and clickable, right? And that's what power is. Power is easy, it's quick, it's fast, it's at your fingertips. And so it gets under your skin, that idea, when you're young. And when you get older, you don't know how to make things. You don't know how to build things. You devalue the idea of discipline. You don't have patience. So to master anything, to be good at anything, you have to be patient. You have to be willing to put up with boredom, with tedious tasks day in and day out. And if everything is quick, and easy, you lose that skill. So I was worried that we're raising a generation of people who won't know how to design buildings, that bridges will be falling down, that buildings will be collapsing, that planes will be crashing. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but that people won't know how to literally build something, right? And I noticed in a lot of books, I compare a book to a cathedral, at least from the kind of books I try to write. It's like a cathedral. It has to have a good foundation. The higher you build it and the craftsmanship you put in it, it shows off in the end product. It's something you can idolize or worship, if you will. It's a beautiful thing, but it's slow. It's brick by brick by brick by brick by brick. And I notice a lot of books just kind of crumble. They don't have that kind of discipline. They don't show a lot of thinking, a lot of effort. So I wrote Mastery because I've been around a lot of powerful people since I wrote the 48 Laws of Power, and even before. And I noticed that this is the kind of the quiet side that nobody talks about, but that they are very disciplined. They put in all of this time. It's not sexy. You never see it, but that's what makes them powerful. I want to share that secret with people. So I did a book with 50 Cent, right? Who's, a very charismatic rapper, a very good songwriter, etc. And I saw firsthand, because I spent 6 months with him, literally at his side, day in and day out. He's incredibly disciplined. He works really, really hard at the craft of music, of his writing his lyrics, of his business. He works out. He doesn't party. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink. He's a very serious, disciplined person. Nobody knows about that. Nobody sees that side of it. And so I was worried that people are getting the wrong impression, that to be famous, to be a celebrity is all that matters, to get a lot of attention, to get a lot of followers on Instagram is the source of power. No, your source of power is your work, is your craft, is developing skills. And the good side about the times that we live in is that there are all these avenues for learning skills out there. on YouTube, etc. All these apps that can teach you things that weren't available 40, 50 years. That's the paradox of the times we live in. You have at your control here immense tools for developing these kinds of skills that you can now utilize, but people aren't using them correctly. So that's sort of the spirit why I wrote the book Mastery.